What's happening YouTube? Owen here from Dark Entertainment, the place to hear tales from Wales and afar. If you're into creepy stories donated to us by people like yourself, then feel free to like and subscribe. Now, let's get into the video. Episode 6, Insole Court. Insole Court is a beautiful Victorian building that is situated in the city of Llandaff, which is considered a suburb of Cardiff. It was constructed in 1855 for wealthy businessman James Harvey Insole. Like many businessmen in Wales, James Harvey Insole's wealth came from coal mining. In the mid to late 19th century, coal was the chief export for Wales, transporting it all over the world. As a result, he decided to create this mansion for he and his family. Throughout the years, many members of the Insole family lived at the court and were very wealthy during this period. However, with the outbreak of World War I, the political landscape had begun to change. Not only were men being drafted into the military to fight abroad in France, but also coal mining itself had become outdated. Welsh coal had been priced out of the market by mechanisation, meaning that other mines around the country were producing cheaper coal without the need for coal miners. As a result, the family's wealth began to dwindle. While speaking with a member of staff at Insole Court, I was told of a curious story regarding one of the members of the Insole family. Her name was Violet Adeline Lilly. She was a noted horticulturist and was well known not only throughout Britain but also in America. At Insole Court, her pride and joy became the garden, and this is where the tale of her death is slightly odd. Although I can't find any evidence to back this up, I was informed by one of the staff members that Violet passed away within the court from abdominal problems in 1932. In the early 20th century, doctors would normally come out to houses belonging to gentry rather than the gentry go to them. On this occasion, the doctor was slightly too late, and unfortunately, Violet passed away through abdominal injuries during surgery. The story goes that Violet intended this. She wanted the doctor to be late so that she would pass away, meaning that her soul could roam the grounds and care for the garden that she deeply loved long after her death. Although there is no evidence to confirm this story, it does tie in with the ghost stories of Insole Court very well. When speaking to staff, they inform me that many of them feel the presence of Violet around the house. The smell of floral perfumes indicate the presence of Violet, and that some find it comforting to know that she's watching over them. They believe that she looks kindly on the caretakers and cleaners for taking care of the house. But they have also said that she has a darker side to her. A few years back, construction work had to be done repairing one of the building's windows. The work had to be done on an external window just above one of the rooms and had a clear view into the house. Obviously, this is not the type of work that can be done by a caretaker or cleaner, so an external company had to be brought in order to complete the job. One particular day, a builder was up a ladder on the outside of the building. He was working on the lintel. As he descended the ladder, he peered into the house. What he saw there made him jump off the ladder and run. He then rang the court and said, "I will never come back to the building." And they said, "Well, what about your tools?" He said, "Keep them. I'm never coming back." He didn't explain what he saw, but the staff there believed that it was possibly Violet. What she was doing to the man is anyone's guess, but it scared him enough to leave hundreds of pounds worth of tools. Violet's spectre can be seen at various points throughout the building. She's usually looking over the garden, and has been witnessed by not only staff, but members of the public alike. Throughout the course of a week, the court can be used for many functions. Companies hire it out for meetings. Weddings are held there, parties, and all other manner of activities. At the end of the day, staff go around the house and shut up all the doors, making sure that they usher members of the public outside. Once the doors are shut, they then do a search of the rooms just to make sure that no one is in the rooms that they've missed. One particular day, all the doors had been locked. As one of the staff members returned to the front door, she noticed that there was an incredibly large Irish wolfhound type dog sat motionless and quiet by the front door. It quietly looked at her. She told me that the first thing that she thought was that someone in the grounds had let their dog off, or the dog had managed to slip the lead and had entered the house. She looked at the dog again. Once again, it stared blankly back at her, occasionally scratching itself. It was only then that she realised that the doors had been locked for the last half an hour. As she looked back at the dog, it disappeared. Several months later, the same member of staff was in the house. She'd been performing her normal chores, showing members of the public around the house, talking about the history, and various other activities such as these. At this point, one of the regular groups that use the house, which happened to be a yoga group, had just finished. The woman who ran the yoga group several times a week approached the member of staff, who she knew well, and inquired, "What's with the large dog?" After speaking for a moment, they both realised that their encounters were remarkably similar. Both had seen the large animal just innocently staring at them before disappearing into thin air. It was only a few months later than that they discussed it further. They both realised that exactly a week after the dog encounter, something strange had happened in their lives. The member of staff that I spoke to believed that the dog was a form of harbinger, warning her that her house was going to be broken into. And apparently the yoga instructor had a similar encounter where something in her life had happened that resulted in emotional trauma. Could the large hound be warning people of impending doom? I'll leave it to you to decide. You can visit Insole Court most days during the week and on the weekend. It's a very beautiful place, and who knows what you might see. Anyway, that's all from us here at Dark Entertainment. We hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and subscribe. We are now on Twitter, and if you would like us to feature a story of yours, feel free to drop us a message or leave a comment down below. Ta-ta!